give you a brief tour around my studio. And I will give you a lesson on how to make something that may potentially help you with your seascapes. You see I have a fairly high ceiling. I designed the studio so I could do my major works. To compose my music and record them. And this is where I do a lot of my writing and things of that nature. Now we'll gradually get back to the area where I will show you something that will help demystify the painting of a wave. Over the years I've sold over $1 million worth of seascapes. President Ford had one of my originals. President Reagan and Cap Weinberger had one of my special works I prepared for the United Nations. I have letters from all these people too. Now, what we see here is something that I made up a long time ago for myself, and I use it when I'm giving lessons. Just want to check on where the camera angle is. And and rather than take a whole lot of time, you'll take a paper towel, or rather a roll from a paper towel. Some people use toilet paper tubes. You cut it as if a wave, that it's a wave, and you paint it from a transition of going light at the top, gradually dark. And the foam that goes up the other way is light at the bottom, to gradually into the shadows. And waves, you see a wave and you think that it's going this way. In reality, it's curving from that way there, left to right in this particular instance. Now, I start with to speed up the process as far as explanation. This is half of a paper roll. No, this actually looks like a toilet paper tube. And I will paint it with gesso first to seal it and potentially prevent it from unraveling or becoming unglued. And I will not finish that. This is more for just showing you how you get started. I like to use gesso. And then I will take it to the next step and I will add color. What is really more important is value structure more than anything. And there will be a transition. It's my intention to give more lessons on YouTube in the future. I had a nice young man from Seattle, and I gave him a wonderful lesson. His name is Mars, and he's to send me a tape that he made of that so we can share it with others. One of my philosophies in life is the joy is in the journey, and the journey is for sharing. I try to help people whenever I can. I've taught free in schools for years, and so I'm going from light to dark going down. It's just one step along the way. And again, I'm not going to overwork this right now. I'm just giving you a general idea of how to do that to minimize the time spent on this video. So you have a transition from light to dark going down. And where the wave is breaking, we'll pull some color up like that to denote like the foam. And as it falls, it shatters, so to speak, and separates, and so it'll be a little bit lighter just before it reaches what you call the bottom, darker at the top, and there'll be fine little touches as far as, upon closer observation, you will note that right where the foam meets the dark area, it will be at the very top. There's just a thin layer of light there, and then also on the very top before you run into the reflected light from a different light source. So the darkness is going to go like that, and note the downward strokes here, and that's the flow of as it goes down too. And you can use that when you're painting. I've given art demonstrations and workshops and things of that nature in the past, and kind of enjoyed them in a way. And then we will go back to here and have some of the foam. Here I'm just mixing a blue with, actually it's a little umber. I like to use blues and browns and things like that to create neutral ones. So this will represent some of the foam in the that's breaking. And along the edge here. And I'll paint the marbling of being swept up underneath. Again, this is just a fast example, and I will show you one that at the next step. Now the beauty of this idea is that this one I spent more time on, and I use it when I have guests over to my home and I'm giving them a lesson. Now you can see underneath it's lighter and it's gradually going down, and the foam going up is light. That's where you have this little, almost imperceivable sense of light right there. And once again, the wave is going this way as it breaks, and there's a light across the top. Now I will focus on some of my paintings briefly, and that will give you an idea of how that's used. This is the area as it's breaking up. There's light going up, and there's a dark area. Then there's reflected light along the top. There can also be a thin layer of color, almost imperceivable. It has to do with angles of reflection in that. And there you think the wave is going like this, but it already hit there, and it's rolling this way. And this is rolling under, and that will tumble down over. I hope that this little explanation, there are times when I will take that and look at it in different lights, from different light sources and different angles. There's a wave going away from you. Which way? And there's no apparent strong direct light hitting this now, otherwise you see strong light and shadow. But it's a fun little thing to do, and it becomes a model that you can use. And it wouldn't hurt to get like a small piece of wood and maybe put a couple light thumbtacks in it just to hold it in place. Well, I hope that this will help you in some little way. Well, I'm George John Bleich. You're in my studio.